Hello, Craig. Are you going to be more cooperative than your compatriot Garrick, the freshman who's all Olympicked out and doesn't want to deal with us today?
I'm not getting into that.
Garrick was up too late watching the Olympics and was like, no, I cannot record. I am late tired.
No, apparently Respawn didn't want to talk to him. That's the reason. It said nobody was talking, so I put them in there because it said I had to restart Discord and go and do an update. So I thought, put the bots in there. Respawn can talk to the bots. I'll come back and it'll all be working. Nope, nothing. And so I missed all the insightful information that Respawn had in his brain at that particular point in time. So
I wasn't saying anything. My mic was muted.
Exactly. It's been lost to time now. All those thoughts have just gone.
There were no thoughts. I think everybody knows that I have no thoughts. I am thoughtless.
That's worrying.
I am without thought.
That is worrying. There must be thoughts in that head.
Nah. I stopped thinking years ago. Come to find out, it gets in the way of your happiness.
Your eyes, full hearts, empty heads.
That's right.
Can't lose.
Man, oh man. So
I've missed you guys this week. How are you?
I'm all right. Did Bungie change something? Because
yes, they did many things. Were you not here last week?
Get to it.
I can definitively tell you that yes. Whatever you're going to ask about, yes, they changed some things. They changed some things unintentionally.
I don't think this wasn't covered anywhere though.
Intentionally.
And can I roll the titles before we get into a discussion?
Yeah.
Thank you. Every week.
Welcome to Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast. Dedicated in bringing you all the latest information, news, and opinions. This is the best show for new and veteran Guardians alike, where we share tips, tricks, and tools to help you succeed and enjoy playing even more. So with all that said, let me hand you over to your hosts, the Triumph Hunting Titan Nitedemon, the pink-panted pansy Peroty, and your Hunter Master Ranger, Mr. No One Respawns in Real Life!
So you're him, I'm me, he's also here, and now we're going to see how much of the game Respawn has been confused by and what Bungie has changed out from under him.
It's not a game mechanic. It's like whenever somebody in the clan jumps.
It wasn't a game mechanic last week that they changed.
Can I finish a goddamn sentence?
Okay, I know exactly where you're going, and yes, they changed it.
All right, then you finish my sentence for me. Oh, wise ones.
So when you log into the game and you're just running around playing, and now you have a little feed going in your text chat of, here's a person's name. Here's a person's name. Here's a person's name. Here's a person's name. Hey, this guy's here too. Here's another person's name. Yeah, they decided that you should know when your friends are online by putting it into the text chat.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. I don't know what you can do with this information because I look at the text chat and go, "Yep, that's the thing I could do," but not on this controller. So I don't know if that's more helpful for you PC people, but
it's not. And it doesn't tell me anything. It just says Peroty.
Yeah.
What about him?
Peroty. He's behind you. He's standing over your shoulder, looking down upon you and just shaking his head in a slight disappointment.
Yeah.
That's every week.
Probably accurate.
There's always disappointment.
Yeah, I saw that and was likewise confused by it, going, I'm sure there was a plan here somewhere, but I'm not sure the plan got fully baked.
And we don't know if it's going to be fully baked or if that was it. It could have been just that was it.
It's definitely that's it. This is Bungie we're talking about.
No, but there could be more coming because when they implemented the Fireteam Finder, they said, it's still beta, but we're going to just give it to you. And then they kind of iterated on it and have made it better, haven't they, Peroty? Because Peroty read lots of update this week and he's already forwarded it to me so that we don't have to go over it in the show. So nice. I could just put that in here now. So Peroty's going to tell you all about the update. Which one was it? 8.0.5, I believe?
Yeah, 8.05, which is changing all the things. A lot of things we talked about and a lot of things we didn't talk about. That they just sort of snuck in there and said, oh, look, changes.
Mm.
All right, we got our big update this week of update 8.0.5. And this is going to have all of the changes we've talked about in the last couple of weeks. So let's get started with activities, our Crucible. This is where our map weighting has taken effect. So they've increased the weighting for Javelin 4, Burnout, Endless Veil, Cirrus Plaza, Dissonance, and Event-Tide Ruins. They've reduced the weight for Disjunction, Cathedral of Dust, Convergence, Twilight Gap, Exodus Blue, and Dead Cliffs. All other maps will have the standard weighting, so the maps that are more popular you should be seeing more often, and the ones you don't like you should be seeing less often, hopefully. They've updated the Snake Draft to better account for fire teams. They've updated the quitter penalties to be more lenient for players who rarely quit or get disconnected, but much more restrictive for players who quit regularly. Under competitive, your competitive Artifice Armor challenge is available after placement series if the player is gold or higher. They've reduced the score to win a clash mode from 40 to 35. They've improved the spawn logic in collision mode to prioritize spawning closer to your teammates. They fixed an issue where the rank-based matchmaking tooltip referenced glory instead of a competitive rank. In Trials, while in a 3-person fire team, losses will not remove a win from the passage of persistence. They've enabled the blended ammo system in Trials, so the prototype special ammo meter has now been fully deprecated and removed from our core Crucible experience, though it will still be available in some private matches and when Checkmate is in a rotator. The meter system for special ammo is currently being rebuilt to address technical and balance concerns, and they will have more information on that at a later date. They fixed an issue where the newer version of Summoner and Eye of Soul did not unlock in the collectibles in the Trials collection badge, blocking progress on that. They fixed an issue where disconnecting while on the passage of Ferocity would sometimes prevent players from launching the activity. In Iron Banner, they've temporarily removed the Tribute mode for additional improvements, so no more Gambit and Iron Banner for now. And they fixed an issue where the Criminal's Dagger and Claw of the Wolf did not count toward the Oromund's Taste Triumph. In private matches, they've increased the player cap for Rumble in private match lobbies up to 12 players. So you can now have 12 players in a private Rumble match. For raids and dungeons, for Salvation's Edge, they fixed an issue where the extra residence pickups would not be removed after completion for some activities. Fix an issue where players who died in the traversal areas could respawn in locations that made it difficult for them to return to the intended path. Fix an issue where the Lorebook Triumph was missing individual steps, descriptions, and icons. Fix an issue in the Verity encounter where extra ghost pickups could unintentionally be created, causing difficulties in determining the correct ghost pickup. Fix an issue where the Enrage warning was missing from the Herald of Finality boss encounter. Fix an issue where the Raid Armor mod had duplicate text in the description. And finally, fix an issue where the objective progress text was missing for multiple triumphs. Those have all been fixed for the raid. For seasonal activities, for our Breach executable, adjusted tuning for the laser walls during the Minotaur boss encounter. They've increased the delay time on the laser wall cadence and reduced the damage on the laser wall by 50%. They've also fixed an issue where players could get out of bounds during the Minotaur boss encounter. For Onslaught, they added the new Onslaught Attunement option, which is available from Zavala in the tower, so players can now select a single Brave Arsenal weapon to attune, increasing the drop rate chance by 60%. That's 60% in Onslaught. For Excision, fix an issue where selecting the narrative version of Excision did not play the end/epilogue cinematics after completion. For Dual Destiny, they added a weekly challenge to Dual Destiny that rewards an exotic class item, Powerful Tier 1, upon completion. For Liminality, they fixed an issue where waterfalls could lose their sound if players return to them after already passing through them. For Vanguard Ops, fixed an issue where the champions appeared in Battlegrounds launched from the Vanguard Ops playlist. For UX and UI, we got a bunch of Fireteam Finder improvements. So they added an all certs option in the activity selection, added a toast for all members after the leader summons via Fireteam Finder, added an alert when a player is kicked from the fire team, added a notification to the text chat when friends come online. So if you've been seeing the text chat showing the names of people as you're playing the game, this is that change. They're giving you that notification when someone comes online. And if you have text chat turned off, then you won't see this at all. They added a setting to toggle on and off the notifications for friends coming online, added more accurate location information when viewing players in the roster. They've also fixed an issue that could allow unavailable activities to be selected in the Fireteam Finder, fixed an issue where inviting players to a Fireteam Finder lobby did not take into account the Fireteam invite privacy settings, fixed an issue where the Empire Hunt activities were missing from the create/search, fixed an issue where the system messages could fill up text chat and make messages vertical, fixed an issue where players' names were not showing in the roster tooltip, Fix an issue where the invite modal did not close after rejecting a Fireteam Finder invite. And finally, fix an issue where the Bungie friends list did not refresh immediately upon login. For quests, they fix an issue in the new light quest where it had a blank image on a featured quest view. For gameplay and investment, we have a bunch of ability changes, so they've reduced the amount of super energy gained from rocket sidearms per damage event by about 20%. Fix an issue where the strand fragments incorrectly referenced locked until world raid first completion is achieved, purchase requirement, since the raid's been beaten, so all the fragments should now have those, should be available to everyone. Reduce the distance the swarm grenade sub-munition projectiles can travel once they begin tracking a target. For Titan, they've increased the Soul of Hammer damage against boss and mini-boss combatants by 25%, increased the Twilight Arsenal damage against boss and mini-boss combatants by 20%, fixed an issue where the Twilight Arsenal axes would unintentionally track combatants below the player during cast, fix an issue where the detonation produced by the unbreakable aspect was being scaled without absorbing damage while thermite grenades were equipped. For the Hunters, they've reduced the Threaded Spectre detonation damage against players from 100 at maximum to 60 at maximum, and then the detonation damage against players from 60 at minimum to 30 at minimum. Fix an issue where kills with Gunpowder Gamble would not activate Facet of Mending. Fix an issue where the Gunpowder Gamble ready buff notification would remain visible after swapping to the Gunpowder Gamble aspect. For Warlocks, they fix an issue where the Threadlings did not roost onto Prismatic Warlocks with just Weaver's Call and Phoenix Dive equipped. Fix an issue where the Penumbral Blast would not auto-shatter enemies it froze while Winter's Guile was equipped on the Prismatic Warlock. For the Exotic Armor, for Hunters, your Radiant Dance Machines, fix an issue where players could repeatedly activate the Ascension aspect when they had Radiant Dance Machines equipped. For Arthur's Embrace, fix an issue where the Arthur's Embrace Exotic could have its damage bonus extended by shooting allied targets. For the Titans, your Arbor Warden, fix an issue causing Arbor Warden to block players from gaining Transcendence energy with Prismatic Rifts. Lion Rampart, fix an issue where you could ADS with Lion Rampart's Enhanced Lift was active without disrupting the lift. For Hazardous Propulsion, fix an issue where it was not boosting the splash damage with the Quicksilver Storm's micro rockets. For Warlocks, your Getaway Artist no longer grants energy on Arc Soul hits while the player has Devour active. For Solipsism, your exotic class item, fix an issue where the Vortex grenades were granting more energy back than intended with the Spirit of Ozymancy perk, and fix an issue where the super damage bonus from the Spirit of the Star Eater was being applied to ignitions caused by Song of Flame. For your armor mods, we've updated the Exotic Artifice upgrade icon to be more distinct from an empty Artifice mod slot. They fix an issue allowing swapping between regular armor mods and reserve armor mods to enable a higher ammo count than the current maximum. They go on to say this was never intended functionality. To help offset this fix, we're buffing the following ammo-related aspects. Reserve ammunition for all weapons has been increased by 15%, with weapons with low reserves for their weapon type getting a larger buff, and reduced the cost of reserve mods by 1. So they fixed an issue also where Special on Ammo and Heavy Ammo Finder mods would not provide additional benefits while equipping a third copy. For our weapon archetypes, our aggressive scout rifles can increase PvE damage by 30%. Dead Man's Tail is affected by this change. For pulse rifles, our heavy burst pulse rifles, they fixed the issue where the weapons were displaying their RPM as 395 instead of 300. And they say this does not affect the weapon's actual RPM, it's just a visual fix. However, for Graviton Lance, there is a bug where it is affecting its rate of fire, but I believe other heavy burst pulse rifles are not affected. It's just the Graviton Lance that has a slower rate of fire due to this change, but will be corrected in a later update. For sniper rifles, reduce flinch taken from combatants by 50%. Glaives increase the melee damage in PvE by 20%. For lightweight shotguns, fixed the issue where the lightweight shotguns were not receiving the lightweight intrinsic buff movement speed and mobility. For special ammo sidearms of a rocket-assisted frame, corrected an issue that was allowing them to progress ammo finder mods as if they were primary weapons. For PvP weapon tuning, big long section here. So for precision bow base damage, 84.6 to 90, critical hit damage from 126 to 130. So slight little buff to precision bow damage in PvP. That's the only PvP change. For your exotic weapons, Duality, they corrected an issue where Duality was not using the slug shotgun ADS damage fall-off scalar value of 1.2. The conditional finality reduced the base damage handling by 15, can no longer freeze players who are in a well of radiance. For Bastion, they corrected an issue where Bastion was not spawning with ammo in the Crucible. Ariana's Vow increased the damage versus barrier champions by 67%. Monte Carlo fixed an issue that allowed Monte Carlo's bayonet damage to persist when picking up a carryable object. For Ergo Sum, the new exotic swords, fixed an issue where the Ergo Sum Sacred Flame traits effects counted as primary weapon damage. For Wishkeeper, fixed an issue where some versions of the Wishkeeper exotic bow had unintentional access to combat grip. These have been updated to have the heavy grip. For perks changes, Recombination, they corrected an issue where the perk would sometimes deactivate before dealing bonus damage. Threat Remover increased buff duration from 5 to 7 seconds, and reduced pellet proc from 12 to 11, and they added a handling scaler. For Golden Tricorn, fix an issue where the Golden Tricorn was activating on ability kills that did not match the weapon's damage type. For Onslaught, the Onslaught perk, they fixed an issue where the enhanced Onslaught could activate on grenade kills. For weapon mods, they removed the range penalty from the Adept Counterbalance mod, they removed the handling penalty from the Adept Mag mod, removed the stability penalty from the Adept Targeting mod, and reduced the aim assist stat bonus from 10 to 7. Now for general changes, weapons granted during the Pantheon Raid event that equipped non-functional masterworks will be corrected to a working masterwork for that weapon's archetype, or enhanced intrinsic if the weapon has been enhanced since. They fixed an issue with the circular logic machine guns would only drop with Feeding Frenzy in the left trait column. So circular logic machine guns were only dropping with Feeding Frenzy as a left trait, nothing else. So that's fixed now. Fixed an issue where the gunpowder gambit kills would not activate Adrenaline Junkie. Fixed an issue causing special ammo weapons to deal more damage to frozen targets than intended, and rocket sidearms to deal less damage. Fixed an issue where the older curated roles of the Riposte received the weapon trait Golden Tricorn. These instances have been updated to have Desperate Measures instead. If the weapon was enhanced to Tier 3 weapon enhancement, it will be updated to Enhanced Desperate Measures. So they fixed an issue causing older curated roles of the Rose to receive both Outlaw and Pulse Monitor. These perks were not intended to be available on this weapon and have been replaced with Rapid Hit and Eye of the Storm respectively. So if you had Outlaw on a Rose, you now have Rapid Hit. If you had Pulse Monitor, you now have Eye of the Storm. So those perks were never meant to be available on that weapon at all, so they've been removed and replaced. And if the Rose was enhanced, the perks will be replaced with the Enhanced Rapid Hit and Enhanced Eye of the Storm, respectively. Fixed an issue where a curated version of a Cosmic Grenade Launcher received Snapshot and Opening Shot at the release of Final Shape. This curated role has been updated to Field Prep and Wellspring. Fixed an issue where older versions of the Blasphemer Shotgun had unintentional access to high caliber rounds. These instances have now been updated to accurized rounds. They fixed an issue where the Season of the Forge issued Nightshade had unintentional access to armor-piercing rounds. These have now been updated to Tactical Mag. And they fixed a rare issue with some Root of Nightmares Adept weapons updated by players during the crafting had enhanced traits ahead of schedule in the weapon's enhancement progression. In these rare cases, the enhanced trait has been swapped with the base trait to facilitate enhancing the weapon properly. So, more bug fixes fall out from the crafting. They fixed several reprised weapons that had incorrect lore tabs: the Eye of Soul, Astral Horizon, Summoner, Loaded Questions, Sleepless, Twilight Oath, and The Messenger. And they've added a speed limit to the acceleration applied to players while rocket jumping with the Mountaintop. For Pathfinder, they've reduced the kill requirements in PvP for grenade and melee objectives, and removed a single life requirement for the melee and grenade kill objectives, and removed the subclass verb requirements for elemental ability kill objectives, and now reward bonus progress on subclass verb interactions. So instead of requiring you to go out and say jolt enemies, it'll give you additional progress, but that's no longer a requirement to use the particular verb to get those kills with elemental abilities. So for accessories, fix an issue where the Bungie Foundation's Disciple Shell had listed an incorrect source in collections. And finally, some general changes. Fix an issue where the Tessellation was incorrectly being granted to players without the Final Shape Annual Pass Edition. The weapon will not be removed from anyone who already has it, however. So, if you have it, enjoy it. They're not taking it away. fix an issue where certain Legacy Iron Banner ornament items were missing a description, adjusted chances for acquiring the exotic class item from chests to be more generous, increase the progression on escalation chest chances, remove progression from world chest chances, and world chests can still drop the item but won't increase the drop rate from future chests. And then finally, fix an issue where the Azur's Strange Favor buff was not available to be redeemed for all characters on an account once it was unlocked for the week. And that, my friends, is your entire update 8.0.5 for Destiny 2 from the 6th of August, 2024. So that's everything that's happened in your giant patch note of 8.0.5 that
we might have learnt about last week if there was a TWAB and if there was an update and things like that, but as we discussed last week, there are many things going on at Bungie and many things that, as we said last week, are not going to be resolved within a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. It's going to be an ongoing thing. And then once they officially know what's going on, we'll know somewhere down the line, basically, because we're not that important to know at this point in time. All we need to know is what we've been told is Destiny 2 will continue forever.
Forever.
Yep.
So you'll have to listen to me, Respawn, and Peroty
End of time
forever.
Until the last console or PC's been turned off, and there is no more Destiny to play. Yeah, they did. They basically this week said, hey, we'll have more information about our next multi-year, plans coming up. So, because a lot of people were being very anxious, going, "You said nothing past this year, nothing at all," and they're basically saying, we have plans. Like, we're not ready to share with you all, the players, all these plans, but there is more of the game coming. Because again, at the end of the day, this is how the company makes any money. So the game has to continue, or there's no company anymore.
Wow.
We do have an update this week from Sony Interactive Entertainment from the COO and CFO, Hiroki Totoki, who has now revealed exactly what is happening with Bungie's restructuring in the recent briefing. So this is direct from Paul Tassi a couple of days ago, and he has got a YouTube video. If you want to watch that, I will link that in the show notes, but you can always just listen to the Cliff Notes now. So while there's not an actual takeover of Bungie Studios by Sony right now, there are large chunks being carved out of the studio that are moving to the Sony Interactive Entertainment after it's struggling to be profitable between Destiny 2 and many other side projects. And then the Sony president, Hiroki Totoki, said all of what remains at Bungie itself, about 850 people, will be contained and concentrated into Destiny 2 and Marathon development. There are no plans to stop developing Destiny 2 despite recent issues, though behind the scenes reporting has indicated content will shrink in scale for the foreseeable future. And I think that's a given because they want to get Marathon up and running because they've given Sony and the rest of the world a 2025 date. So it's going to be small scale stuff for us in Destiny 2 land until Marathon is up and running. And I know there's a lot of vitriol and hatred for Marathon from the Destiny 2 players, but if Marathon doesn't take off, it could be, bad for Destiny as a whole or Bungie as a whole. So everything besides Marathon and Destiny 2 will move under the Sony Interactive Entertainment. This includes back office functions at Bungie, including many roles that were hit by the layoffs. Also, other titles in development. This includes Bungie's Gummy Bears project, which is reportedly to have 40 people move to Sony Interactive Entertainment in a new sub-studio. And that's basically everything that's kind of happened, apart from they're still reporting that Luke Smith and Mark Noseworthy, who have only now just departed from the studio with the current round of layoffs, as their main project, was cancelled a couple of months ago. But we've had nothing from those guys, which I would have thought that somebody would have said something along the lines of why they were going, because they were the guys.
Confirmation at least.
Yeah, those were the guys that were in charge of the Destiny universe, and as we saw it, were the guys that were going to be pushing for the movies, the comics, the cartoons, whatever was kind of in that universe. They were the ones that were kind of guiding it. Now, they might have moved into Sony, but nobody seems to know. I mean, I'm just speculating that they could have just. That's why we haven't really heard that. They've left Bungie, but maybe they've gone to Sony, or they've gone somewhere. Maybe. I'm hoping that they've gone to Sony as part of a direct kind of link to Destiny 2, and they're kind of still developing that universe in the genres that we want to kind of see. But that's me just kind of hoping at this point in time.
Yeah,
but yeah, I'll link the article by
coming.
Paul Tassi and his video that he did this week going over that. But that's the only kind of confirmation from Sony what's actually happening. Apart from that, it's kind of all still speculation.
Yeah, I mean, and that's what it's going to be for the most part forever, because
Yeah,
and as the players, we're never going to know exactly what's going on or who's where, because we don't need to. It's other people's livelihoods and jobs, but it's I mean, yeah. I'm tired of talking about layoff news. It sucks.
Yeah, it does. I mean, when they're talking about smaller content drops, if we see things that are similar to Into the Light, that was an amazing drop to get like the onslaught missions and get the focusing of the weapons that we kind of really liked back, and it got people back into the game. And even the Pantheon thing that they did. Now they could do the Pantheon again and just have different bosses, different mechanics, and they could also add to Onslaught. They could add different maps, because there are a lot of maps out there that could kind of benefit from being transferred into Onslaught with different enemies. They just need to kind of utilize it a bit like. I mean, I know they've kind of abandoned Gambit, but I mean, again, put a little bit of time into Gambit and maybe bring back some of the maps or put some new enemies in there and mix it up a little bit, because I'm sure it's easier to kind of add enemies or change up the dynamics or the placing of enemies in the maps that we've got to give it a bit of freshness than it is to kind of create new kind of game modes or kind of new parts to the game like you do with the story modes. But that's just my thought.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of content there. There's still a Destiny 1 that's running. There's loads of stuff you could still, either port over or build for this game. Yeah, it's sort of what we've been saying for a while, going, I don't need to have a brand new seasonal activity that I'm going to play for 3 months and then never see again. If you can focus on building more things that I can play forever, more evergreen content that I can go back to and play time and time again, build out maps, build out different modes for things, give me new Crucible variations, give me new things I can play in the existing structure of the game. It doesn't have to be a brand new bespoke activity. Give me something I can go do and change up the variations on.
Yeah. I mean, if you look at it, the content that we've had that has just kind of been there with the seasons that then kind of just disappeared. We had things like the Menagerie. We had the Sundial. We had the stuff on like, I don't know what it was called, but it was kind of go to the planets and keep these towers kind of alive. I can't remember what that was actually called. I remember it was really hard to kind of do it without kind of enemies touching the tower. There was, I can't remember which season it was either, but it was one that people didn't really like to play. But there's been so many different things that have kind of and like the coil as well. We had that, and then we've got kind of Breach Executable. We've got the new Battlegrounds. We've got more stuff to come as well. And what I've kind of enjoyed is, I know people have kind of bashed this kind of episode or season that we've kind of had, but it's just been nice to kind of, they've given you the story beats each week, which I know people don't like, but it's kind of kept people kind of coming back if they want to kind of log in and play each week. Then once the kind of story beat has kind of come to an end, you've got an event to play. Like at the end of Act 1, we had the 2 weeks of Iron Banner. Yes, 1 week was good. 1 week wasn't as good. We then got, I think there was something else in between. And then we got the next bit of the story. And now we've kind of finished the end of Act 2. We've got 3 weeks of Solstice, which then takes us into Act 3. So every week, Bungie have planned for, if you don't want to come back, you don't have to. But there's always something to do each week if you want to, and you want to kind of play the game. And they're slowly kind of undoing the process of, you have to go in and do that game mode to get X, Y, and Z. Now it's kind of like we found out with the Solstice, is that as long as you kind of unlock the initial part of the quest, you can then go and play the rest of the game, earn your leaves, earn your kind of, do your bounties for your Solstice armor, and you very rarely have to step foot back into the Bonfire Bash, the EAZ, if you don't want to, because it's all there as part of that kind of Solstice.
But if you go into the Bonfire Bash, right? Let's say you've unlocked every piece of armor. You don't have to max out the armors, but just unlocking them.
Yeah,
you can get 8 drops, an average of 5 weapons per bash, and then 3 pieces of armor, right? So you can get like 8 to 11 drops every time you do Bonfire Bash. Now, you don't have to, but if the goal of the Solstice is for you to get that the god bow that has the double drops in each column with the double void perks, the double speed perks, or the double damage perks, or whatever. Not double damage. I'm stupid.
Yeah.
Then you want to go into the Bonfire Bash because that's going to give you the most loot at a time to try to get those rolls.
And I think that's the idea, is that as long as if you are playing the actual event that comes along, you'll be rewarded for playing that actual event, but you don't have to. And once you've kind of maxed out your armors, once you've kind of unlocked all the armor pieces, it's at that point you can then pick up bounties or do the forge stuff to then create the weapons that you want. And get the double drops on the weapons. So
you don't create the weapons,
but you know what I mean. You pick up the bounties to do the thing. So you get a choice, kind of playing the actual thing that Bungie have put in the game, which they've kind of made better this season. And then a lot of people are like, oh, it's just going to be the same old thing. And I know because we didn't have the 12 last week, I think they would have told us last week this fantastic new kind of iteration on Solstice that it would be better for people. And I will link a couple of videos this week. We've got Asacross this week going over a Solstice guide, and Fallout put a couple of videos out, but I'll put one of his in basically explaining what why he was wrong about Solstice this season. But yeah, it's always they have planned for you to be entertained each week in Destiny. Whether it's your poison or not, then it's completely up to you. But there is still something each week for people to do.
Yeah, and honestly, I really like having there being story beat and then activity and story beat and activity, because I can remember, the number of times it's like, all right, we're fighting the big bad. There's a ship hurtling toward the tower. We're all going to be wiped off the planet. But hold on, guys, we need to have the Olympics. It's important to take some time out to play some games while this is going on. Yeah. So let's just forget what's going on for the next 2 weeks. We're all going to have some, track and field events, then go back to trying to save the world. So it's sort of nice to go, okay, we wrapped up a story beat. Let's go do an activity that's a little, feels a little less jarring in the context of the game, and then go back to, fighting the big bad of the moment.
Definitely. So Respawn, you've been enjoying your Solstice this week?
Kind of, yeah.
That's a win-win.
Like the other Solstice events were just trash, but in this one, the only reason I like it better is because it's more interactive, and they gave you ways to progress the map significantly faster. Instead of you having to slog through the map to get from one side to the other, because they love spawning enemies on the opposite sides of the map, you now have jump points, you now have man cannons, and then you have like the strand grapples too, right? So map traversal, which was always one of my bigger complaints, is so much easier in this Solstice with the addition of the man cannons and all that stuff.
They did do that last Solstice.
Well, I wasn't playing last Solstice.
I don't think you were.
I was jaded.
Yeah, I think you were upset last time.
But yeah, so I do like that. The bow,
I have Fortunate Star.
Yeah, I have a couple of rolls that have the kill clip on it, and honestly, I'm trying to figure out whether it's any good, because I also have the non-denouement, whatever, the raid one with Volt Shot, right? And putting that down for something that's just got kill clip is kind of...
Well, it doesn't just have kill clip. It, as we're talking about it, Fortunate Star, it's a lightweight frame, but it's got the Vice Stinger perk on there. So damaging an enemy with this weapon has a small chance to reload the magazine and increase movement speed whilst aiming down sights. Bows receive faster draw time speed, and swords receive faster charge rate. You also can have Dream Work, which is the origin trait for Solstice, which is once per reload, assists or assisted final blows partially refill the magazine from reserve and increase reload speed for a short duration. Bows receive faster draw time. So they kind of do the same thing, but in a lightweight bow, that's really good because some of the perks on here are quite nice. So you've got Disruption Break, you've got Destabilizing Rounds, you've got Golden Tricorn, you've got Kill Clip, Opening Shot, Precision Instrument, and you've got the Gambit one, which is Archer's Gambit, which is hipfire. Precision hits grant massive draw time speed bonus for a short duration. And then you've got Repulsor Brace, which can pair very well with Destabilizing Rounds. You've got air trigger, archer's tempo, enlightened action, hipfire grip, successful warm-up, and loose change. So loose change would be quite good. Applying an elemental debuff to a target increases this weapon's reload speed, aim down sight, and movement speed whilst aiming down sights. And if you have
you gotta apply the debuff first. Which, if you're using a bow, I don't know. I don't like things where you have to play too much into a thing.
No. What I'm saying is, at the moment, the Prismatic Warlock is fantastic with the Void element and the Solar element, isn't it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you get the little, you get the solar turret bombing you, and if you've got the Void one, as long as you get a kind of a kill that triggers your Devour, I'm sure that then that would kind of work with the loose change. And then if you're using destabilizing rounds with it, with final blows causing nearby targets to become volatile, it's that I could see that be working. Or you could use Repulsor Brace, get over shields.
I want to get Repulsor Brace destabilizing on one roll, and the other roll. Yeah, I know.
Good.
No, I think loose change would probably be the way to go. I really do. Because
maybe for a Warlock, but for me, I'd rather the double Void perks or kill clip with a tempo perk.
Archer's tempo.
Any tempo, yeah. I forgot which one rolls in which column, because you can get 2 tempo perks on this bow. You can get Archer's tempo and the Gambit's one, right?
Yes, in 2 separate columns.
Mm-hmm. So you can get double,
and then you can use your origin traits as well. That they work really well. So you can be really fast.
The origin trait. Oh my gosh, what does that do?
I read that to you first.
My wife was yelling at me, and I had to go handle something the dog did, so I didn't hear the first part of the conversation.
Well, you've got Vice Stinger on there, which is damaging an enemy.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then you've got Dreamwork as well. But I'd go with Vice Stinger, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Something new? Are you liking the hand cannon?
There's no hand cannons. There's only bows. You can tell me other weapons drop, and I'm going to tell you you are incorrect, sir.
Okay.
I'm actually with Peroty on this one. Yeah.
Actually, saying that, I think I've only had 1 to drop so far. Yeah, everything else has been bow and... What else have I had? I've had rocket launcher, I think. Very rarely have I had the Compass Rose to drop. But yeah, the hand cannon comes with Nadir Focus, which is sustained fire, increases accuracy and range, or the Dreamwork perk. And you have Headstone, Wellspring, Kill Clip, Frenzy, Explosive Payload, Precision Instrument, and Vorpal Weapon, with Feeding Frenzy, Demolitionist, Rapid, Subsistence, To the Pain, Snapshot Sights, and Elemental Capacitor. I did start watching a video, I think it was from Aztecross on the hand cannon, which I haven't kind of finished yet. But if it's any good, I will stick it in the show notes, because I was quite interested in the hand cannon. Because I do like that new perk To the Pain. While this weapon is equipped, taking damage increases handling and aim assist until the weapon is stowed. Because I'm always kind of... My aim with hand cannons isn't that good. So I'm thinking maybe that might be quite good. In maybe Headstone on PvE targets. And then we have Crowning Duologue. I'm leaving the shotgun to last. Crowning Duologue, which is your rocket launcher, has the Dreamwork perk. It also has the Hake Breach Armaments origin trait, which is this weapon deals increased damage against vehicles and constructs. It can roll with Deconstruction, Envious Assassin, Chain Reaction, Cluster Bombs, Bait and Switch, Bipod, Reverberation, and Impulse Amplifier, Auto-Loading Holster, Demolitionist, Air Trigger, Hatchling, Grave Robber, and Reconstruction. And Respawn's always a fan of Reconstruction. So every 4 seconds, while not firing the weapon, loads 10% of the magazine capacity into the magazine from reserve. Can overfill the magazine up to double the normal capacity. So that might be quite good. With Deconstruction be quite good as well. Sustained damage grants bonus damage against vehicles and constructs and refills the magazine from reserve. Or Chain Reaction. Each final blow of this weapon creates an elemental damage explosion.
Which was nerfed.
Bait and Switch. Everyone loves a bit of bait and switch. Dealing damage with all equipped weapons within a short time to give this weapon a damage boost. Bipod increases rocket launcher ammo and reserves, but reduces damage, blast radius, and reload speed. But
those 2 perks together,
Reconstruction and Bipod.
Yeah, that gives you 4 rounds in your magazine.
So it doesn't really matter if you kind of lose out on blast radius.
Mm-hmm.
And then finally, we have the Compass Rose shotgun, which I've been hearing lots of positive things about. And I have a couple of videos to put in our show notes, because I was listening to the DCP podcast and Legola Flash was on there. And he was saying that you want to look for Slick Draw and opening shot. And this, with as many range perks on there as you can kind of get with maybe a ranged masterwork, because apparently it is a monster in PvP. It puts the Matador 64 to shame. So the thing with Slick Draw, because it significantly increases handling and significantly decreases target acquisition, but apparently the target acquisition is for the first bullet in the magazine, and because it's not a slug shotgun, it's a spread pellet shotgun. It only affects one of the bullets that comes out of the gun, so there's no downside to it. It gives you 100% handling and 0.95 ready animation during the multiplier.
Doesn't Slick Draw also reload like a round when you slide?
No, that is slide shot.
Oh, yeah. Okay, my bad.
So I've got a video from Destiny Fun Police that goes over having slide shot, opening shot, and saying that that's a good god roll. But I'm going with Legolas Flash here with the Slick Draw and opening shot. So that's what I'm looking for. But it also has the Nadir focus. So sustained fire increases accuracy, range, and increases lunge range for swords, and projectile velocity for launchers. And the Dreamwork perk, origin perk, has snapshot sights, trench barrel, vorpal weapon, incandescent, barrel constrictor, 1-2 punch and opening shot, with grave robber, dual loader, to the pain, slick draw, slide shot, threat detector, and threat remover. But yeah, I want to get slick draw, I want to get opening shot, put a range masterwork on there, maybe accurize rounds, that takes it up to 82. And then if we put on something like rifled barrel, it will give you 92. But can we go any further than that? I think you probably can.
Leave it to a Titan to want to slick draw opening shot shotgun.
Smooth draw takes it up to 97 range with 70 impact. So yeah, that's what you want. One of them. Rifle barrel or smooth bore. With a range masterwork, takes it to 97 range. Don't really need stability. 41 on that. Handling 100%. Reload speed 48. Aim assist is 73. And just don't jump in the air. Recoil direction is 75. That's cool. Anything that you guys are actually looking for? Are you looking for any of the weapons in Solstice this time around?
Just the bow.
You're looking for bow, Peroty? Hand cannons.
I mean, like, I am sort of looking for a hand cannon, one because of the seasonal stuff, and two because I think I've maybe had 2 drop, and I've had like 400 bows and 75 rocket launchers. So I mean, honestly, like rocket launchers, I've gotten a ton of. The bows, I've sort of gotten the rolls I wanted. Honestly, I'm more interested in the armor, like getting the higher armor rolls once I finish up all my bounties. And did you know you don't have to go back to the tower to refresh your bounties?
They're in your forge.
Yes, that took me to today to realise that. I was travelling backwards and forwards each time after a bonfire bash, and then I was clicking out all the bounties that I picked up, and I clicked down to see what was flashing, and I was like, silly me. It's a bit like the oven. Yeah, it's always there. The oven at Christmas.
Yeah. It's exactly like the oven.
I was last night years old when I figured out the same thing, because I saw someone say it going, much like the oven, I don't really look at what they give me for these seasonal events. I just go, yeah, it's a thing. I have it. It's there. I'm not really paying attention to it. So yeah, pay more attention to your little Solstice forge, and you can get your bounties without having to fly back and forth to the tower.
Speaking of attention,
it makes it much nicer.
Speaking of attention, were you guys hit with that bug where it was spamming, do this to your armor for days before you actually got a piece of armor?
Nope.
Oh my God. It's all like, oh, now that you have a piece of armor, go here and do this. But like, I was losing my mind looking for the piece of armor that it said I had to do this, so that big banner at the bottom would go away. Do
the thing and then it goes away. Do the thing, it goes away.
I had no armor yet.
No, okay then.
I was trying to do the thing. I didn't have armor dropped, and I lost my mind, and I saw Micah was on. I'm like, yo, what the hell? He goes, yeah, I know, it's doing that to me too. It goes away eventually.
Mike was on. Mike was on.
Yeah,
Mike, who's quit the game several times, was on playing Destiny. Yep. Okay, just checking. Yeah.
Once again, when you lay off people, it doesn't make your product better.
Yeah, for real. And then he said, just wait a while and it goes away. And for me, it was, I don't know, like a day, maybe 2 days. Time for me is weird. It was a long time before it finally went away, and it was so aggravating.
2 hours then, basically.
No. I turned it off and came back the next day, and it was still there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the other thing to kind of make a note of with these weapons that you can kind of get from Solstice, you can, once you've kind of got to one part, the point past kind of getting all your armor,
return.
You can get double drops, double perk drops. That's the word. Double perk drops on the weapons. And these weapons are also enhanceable. So if you can get one, like I said, the Compass Rose with Slick Draw and enhance it, with the opening shot and enhance it, you're laughing all the way to PvP. Just in time for when Iron Banner rolls back around. Which
now,
we
while
don't know
you're talking about perks, brother,
yes.
Do you know how to guarantee double perks in double columns?
Hopefully you're going to tell us.
I will. So the higher the bounty, the more likelihood you are to get double perks in a column. And the highest bounty is guaranteed to give you double perks in both columns.
So just reroll those perks until it's go generate orbs with whatever, and then go generate all the orbs, and then you're done.
Very nice.
Orbs or leaves?
Orbs.
Okay. I don't know if we're talking about the right thing.
If you're talking about the bonfire, the bonfire.
Oh, those orbs. Oh, I don't know why I thought you meant like orbs of light.
I mean, I did orbs of power. Because basically every time it gives me a bounty, the highest one is like go do a dungeon or go play a raid encounter. I'm like, or I can re-roll you with my silver leaves until I get the one that just says go generate orbs of power over and over again, and then I do that, and then I complete them, and then we're done. The fact that you can re-roll each of the bounty sets for the 5 pieces of armor is wonderful. And the fact that it's just silver leaves, so if you're just playing the game earning silver leaves, you can re-roll it to something you want to do. So you're not stuck doing something the game's like, oh, go run a GM Nightfall for this reward. Or just go generate some orbs. And then you get the same thing, and you're done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the good thing, is that you can just go and play the other parts of the game and get the silver leaves to drop. Cheese Forever has a video for you if you have a buddy online that you can kind of farm lots of the leaves if you want to. Yeah. And it's I think it's basically the same that happened last year. So it's loading in at the end of a mission, jumping in the pod and redoing the mission. But I'll put that in the show notes along with the guides to Solstice. So if you haven't jumped in just yet, jump in, because this is a really good chance, as we said last week, to get high stat armor. Once you've kind of unlocked the armor, you can get high stat armor. You can put your ghost mods on to generate a different stat in a different kind of column and go to town and get some really good armors out there. So, the other thing to kind of mention is with the Solstice armor, there was a bug that I did see at the beginning of the week, and I'm hoping it's still kind of working, is that they say that you have to unlock armor pieces before you can actually go and purchase the Eververse glows. Now, I went and all I did was go and visit Evolante, and I already had some silver leaves from last year. And yes, I kept them and they worked. Haha. So I did a thing. I then went to the, and I wasn't sure, I didn't know anything about it to start off with. I did this leaf thing, picked up some bounties, picked up like kind of the armor bounties as well. Then I was looking at the Eververse stuff and I was like, oh, okay, I can go and purchase that. And it wasn't kind of, I watched a TikTok or a video afterwards saying that there's, it's kind of, it says that you can't get those armor glows for Titan, Warlock and Hunter until you've kind of unlocked the armor. But apparently people were finding out you only need to do the first part of going visit Evil Levante and then you can kind of unlock them. Yeah. And I did go and try that with my Warlock, jumped on, went straight to the Eververse, and it says, you cannot do this until you've kind of, which is a bit strange, but hey ho.
Yeah, with the Bright Dash, you mean, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I came across the same issue, and I was really upsetty spaghetti about the whole thing. And then I just went through the game. I went to go to start to unlock some of the armor, and then the same thing happened to me. It just allowed me to purchase it. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. I don't know if that was intended or not, but I did, and it's cool.
And again, because we didn't have anything kind of explaining this last week, what was actually going to be happening, it was a bit confusing for people to kind of, and it still is, because there hasn't kind of been any communication or clarification on that, whether it's locked or if it's a bug or if it's whatever. So, go and speak to Evil Levante at the tower if you just want the glows, and then you can go to your Eververse and pick up your glows. So they're worth getting, because I put them on my Titan and he looks really cool.
It does change color based on the element that you're using, and yes, I took a bite before I said that. Sorry.
What breakfast are we having today?
Grits and eggs with onions and peppers in it. Yeah.
Yep.
Yesterday I had an egg sandwich. It's not always the same.
But did you have grits with the egg in the sandwich?
No, just an egg sandwich. No. No. But yeah, no. So, like I was saying, I don't know if y'all understood me. Based on your super that you have equipped, the armor will change color based on your equipped super.
And don't think it glows pink when you have prismatic. It's whatever kind of your super is. So.
That's what I said.
No, like prismatic is pink.
I said you're equipped super.
I know, but I want to glow pink. I glow green when I've got my strand. I glow dark blue with stasis. I wanted pinky purple. Why can't I have pinky purple?
Because Bungie said no.
Peroty, you'd have loved pinky purple, wouldn't you?
Always.
See?
You're like, this is why we can't have nice things.
No.
So because of the bonfire bash, I had to go clean out my vault, and I think you guys should be proud of me. With no weapons on any characters except the one you have to have equipped, I have a whopping 9 slots left in my vault.
Now, part of me wants to ask how you filled your extra spaces up, but I remember the screenshots, plural, you sent of the 10 trillion class items you're holding on to, as if you're ever going to use 95% of those.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
I mean,
I've already used some that I never thought I would use, like a Sayartrane with something else. I mean, a lot of them are good for different things, especially, well, the one where if you pop your strand tether, you get armor. That one. I can't pronounce that word. Looks like a spider with all the eyes, right?
So Tyranny's facade.
Yeah, whatever that is. Yeah, sure. I can't pronounce words. It's fine. Hey, I sent y'all a picture showing you I'm back in kindergarten, okay? Y'all saw the screenshots. I'm back in kindergarten. I'm learning how to read all over again, all right? It's a process. It takes time. This is not... It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. See what I did there? So, yeah, 9 slots is all I've got, plus what I have on my characters that are open now. And they're getting filled quickly with all these... See, I'm not getting a lot of rocket launchers. I'm not really getting a whole lot of bows. I am getting way too many hand cannons. I've gotten like 3 bows and so many hand cannons. And I want the bows, man.
So you're getting all the things. Yeah, I mean, the bows, they have waited to drop more often. And like out of 5 drops, I feel like I will end up with 3 bows out of, my total loot pool every single time. Like, I'm sure it's not 3 every time, but it feels like it's 3 every time.
I wish. And just now, I got 4 pieces of the one piece of armor that I've got unlocked, the arms. I got 4 of those to drop at the bonfire bash. I'm like, no, we're going the wrong direction. I need bows. Not hand cannons, not gloves, bows. Oh, they have a Doctor Strange entrance. Look at that.
Is it really? It doesn't look really Doctor Strange to
Doctor Strange-ish, but what they do have is the hoverboard from Back to the Future. Did you see that?
That was a couple of weeks ago they had that.
Oh, well, I just saw it when I logged in this week. Because I guess I just looked. But yeah, so pick that up. Thought you'd be happy about it. Thought I'd hear about it. I was like, what?
Did you pick up your free Bright Dust?
I did, which allowed me to buy the glowy armor of Doom.
Yeah.
How do you not have enough Bright Dust to start off with?
I probably did. I just know after I picked up the Bright Dust, I had like 10,000. I don't know what I had before I picked it up.
Yeah, I'm down to 93,000 now.
Sorry, 93,000, not 9,300, 93,000.
Yeah.
I need a screenshot. No, send a screenshot. No.
Futures.
No. Are you serious?
What do you mean, no, you don't believe me?
93,000. So 93 with 3 zeros after it.
Well, no, it's got 479 after it.
Wow.
But I spent 6,000 of that on the Glofer thingy.
I knew you had problems. I did not know it was this bad.
Intervention.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, you really did. You and I have no excuse not to know that this man has problems.
The thing is, like I always say, with my Bright Dust, I always save my Bright Dust for when it's an event, and when it's a good event, kind of Eververse, I then use it because I know it's not going to roll around to the next year. So that's why I kind of save up all my Bright Dust, because everything else kind of I hopefully get it from the engrams, or I get it kind of as a drop at some point, So
everything's not really worth it.
Jesus Christ, 92,000. Like, wow. Do you just never spend it on anything?
There you go. I sent you a picture.
Not until there's an event, obviously. I mean, I've got 28,000, but I spend it much less quickly than I used to. I used to buy a lot of the things, and then I go, well, I'm never going to take this ghost shell or the ship off. So, I've got 4 or 5 ghost shells that are all set to different things that I, basically one Crucible, one Gambit, one Vanguard, one, and then who needs the rest of them?
Yeah, I mean, I do hang on to ghost shells and things, but I just, some of them are sentimental, some of them are old.
Is that right? Oh, okay. I see it. I see the screenshot. I'm still working on the believing it part, though. That is, damn, dude. That's a crazy amount of glimmer or bright dust. Wow. I don't even with you. Like, and what is this? Is that like how many titles you got? Is that 47 of 50? What is that?
No, that's material counts. It says. So if I hover over it, 47 of 50.
Where did you send this picture? I would
42 of 50. He sent it to me in a DM.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's got 42 of 50.
On just the item manager, underneath where it shows you Vault, it's got your glimmer, got your bright dust. It's then got how many spaces you've got in your Vault, and then it's got a little triangle, and then that's his material count underneath for some reason.
Mine's 46 of 50, whatever that is.
Yeah, no idea what that is. But hey, there you go.
Yeah. Well, even when it comes to the bright dust, I'm down to 4,200, not 1,000, 100.
Just play the game, and
that is correct, bro. What?
I think I've got 28,000 bright dust or something at this point. Because again, I'm picking what they give me, and I'm really not spending much. There's fairly little that I see and go, "Ooh, I must own that."
Yeah,
the kitty cat was the last emote I bought, but I can't remember what the last one before that was.
And every time that like a shader comes up in the Eververse store, I will buy that. So the ones that I don't have. See, the good thing about that, and I'll let everybody else know about this, is that you go to the Eververse, and each season, like now, the beginning of the Final Shape, they've got a pack of for just silver of the different elements, and they kind of give you like textures or kind of glows on the armor. Or like with the shaders, and I think it's something like 1,500 silver. If you just wait until next season, they put them in the Eververse store for Bright Dust. There was a really cool one that I think it's called Blaze that they had, or a Blaze that they had the previous season, and that is now kind of, it did come up in the Eververse store a couple of weeks ago for Bright Dust, and it's only like 300 Bright Dust, and I'm like, that's amazing. And I think there were a couple of other ones that do kind of glows or kind of do effects on your armor. So I think the Blaze one kind of has little fire flickers like you're standing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, just keep an eye out for them, or watch the videos that we put out each week.
Yeah, if you can be patient, you can get the thing for cheaper.
Yeah. So I do spend Bright Dust every week, but I don't do the Pathfinder stuff, which annoys me because you can get Bright Dust on the Pathfinders, but I haven't subscribed to doing the Pathfinders. I've been doing, I did the first kind of couple when it was in the Pale Heart, but I haven't kind of moved on to the actual Pathfinder that is with doing kind of the ritual activities, which Bungie do address this week in Destiny.
They do. I was pleased to see that I played a handful of Gambit matches just to do some of the Solstice stuff, and I had an entire Pathfinder done just through stuff I'd done in Gambit. Wasn't even trying.
Cheating. That's cheating. Well, I'm sorry. Yeah. That's cheating. Giving you a complete path for just playing Gambit. Mm-hmm. Now, when I played Iron Banner that week for just playing Iron Banner,
that's the secret.
It didn't give me a full path. No, that's not fair.
Play the game that the time forgot, and you win. That's the secret. I'm telling you. Go play your strikes. Go play your nightfalls. No, just play Gambit. Go get kills. Go wreck
It probably is the quickest way to do it.
They want you to think you have to go play PvP or other parts of the game. No, just see the Snake Man. Go click the green icon and profit.
Sometimes I do miss the Snake Man. I wish he was a hunter. I know, but I wish he was a hunter.
I think he was a hunter in his previous life.
Well, I mean, he very much looks like a warlock.
No,
that man was no warlock.
Why not? He seems incredibly intelligent. He survived on his wits all this time. Why wouldn't he be a warlock?
That's a hunter.
Out.
No, warlocks take unnecessary risks. We don't. We rely on luck, not intelligence.
Well, I mean, making it through the Dark Ages and changing your skin to fit it and make it through seems very hunter-like.
I don't know. Who knows? I just wish he was the Vanguard instead of Mr. Man Bun.
I dare say somebody knows. I bet there's even lore about this.
There probably is. I might have known at one point. I cannot recall at the moment.
Exactly. So this week in Destiny for the 8th of August, 2024, Bungie do go into saying, it's been a long week at Bungie, and thank you to everybody that's kind of helped support them over the last couple of weeks, and just be patient with them because they're trying to get things sorted at Bungie before they can kind of talk to us and let us know what's kind of going on
at Sony.
Well, no, they need to sort things out in studio and let us know what's happening with Destiny 2. And, the people over in Marathon need to let people know what's happening in Marathon. But we have a TWID today, or a TWAB, as we like to call it.
Yep.
And we are going to go over Solstice. We're not going to go over the Destiny 2 update 8.0.5 because Peroty's already told you about that secretly. Pathfinder feedback with limited time weekly Bright Dust. And the Bungie Day 2024 wrap up. So Solstice, it's here. We've talked about it, and it's amazing. We've got a Solstice Forge to kick off the festivals. Head over to Eva Levante to grab your new Solstice Forge item. The Solstice Forge will be your new hub for earning your armor this year. And here you'll find bounties next to each Solstice armor piece, which you can complete to unlock that piece of armor. And you can earn silver leaves from doing literally everything in the game. And then you can use that as currency to purchase these bounties and do stuff in Destiny, which is really cool. And as you complete Solstice Forge bounties, you'll be rewarded with alloys, which can then be used to unlock your new armor pieces and glows. And once you've reached enough alloys for a piece of armor, you'll be offered a quest to take on the Bonfire Bash, with the armor pieces rewarded upon completion. After you've unlocked the armor, you can then follow the same process to earn your glows, and you can track your progress directly in the Solstice Forge, so you'll always know where you are with each piece.
So let me ask you this, right?
Yes, you can ask.
All right.
Me.
So you know how initially it says you got to get 100 of the armor currencies to forge it, right?
Yeah, the alloys.
Why is it that once I pick up a bounty, that 100 jumps to 500?
I know.
What is
for
that
each
about?
Piece. That's to make you keep playing.
And then it goes back down to 100. I'm like, what? I don't think I've gotten 500 of anything. It just keeps fluctuating between 5 and 1. I don't understand what's happening.
I don't either.
Does yours fluctuate, or is mine having a bug? Because it'll be 500 until I complete that weapon bounty that I've picked up, and then it goes back down to 100 again.
I honestly haven't looked. I've seen that it's 500, and that was it. I looked once.
You might want to check again. It might be 100 if you completed that armor bounty.
Maybe.
Yeah, I haven't got any armor bounties done yet, so I don't know. I was close to a couple of them, but I haven't actually finished them yet, so I can't tell you.
In the TWAB, we go over Bungie show us the Solstice armor with the white glows, which is kind of the standard one. But if you buy the one from Eververse, it gives you kind of the glows that you've got with your super. Go over the new weapons, which we've already kind of gone over with you and picked our kind of roles and told you what's available. And we will put some videos in the show notes for anybody looking for god rolls by the YouTubers. But as we always say, your god roll is your god roll, so you look for what you like. There's a new memento, which I haven't got yet. Very pinky orange. Have you got one yet? Anyone got one?
No, but it looks like when you look at it up close, it looks like palm trees, kind of, to me. So it's got like a very
beach. There's flowers,
yeah. Flowers, palm trees, something like that. Something floral.
That's always kind of been the underlying kind of thing of Solstice, hasn't it? That we've kind of had beach, we've had kind of summer kind of emotes and things in the Eververse. So
it's a solstice. So yeah, I mean, summer solstice, winter solstice. So it makes sense. Yeah,
let's have a winter solstice with everything winter, and you can only use stasis.
I'm pretty sure that happens every Christmas season.
Okay, we get snowballs, yeah.
Just saying.
Pathfinder feedback and weekly bright dust.
How do we get Nitedemon to interact with the Pathfinder?
Well, I preferred the bounties. With the Pathfinder, I see where they were going with the Pathfinder, but I honestly, if I wanted to pick up bounties, I would go and pick up bounties and I would go and do that thing. And I would repeatedly do that thing over and over again and generate my vast amounts of bright dust.
Bro, it's not lying. I still can't believe that. That's crazy.
So now we know why they've nerfed the bright dust generation because of night.
You!
Oh, I'm not the only one with loads of bright dust.
You might be, honestly.
But I would prefer if they had a Pathfinder for each different activity. So if you wanted to play your hearts out, to your heart's content in Gambit, you had a Gambit Pathfinder. And when you maxed out that Gambit Pathfinder, you did your kind of, is it 3 resets that you get and then it just gives you normal stuff after that?
I thought it was 2. Is it 3?
I think it gives you a powerful, then it gives you... No, it gives you a pinnacle first, doesn't it? And then a powerful, and then it gives you just normal rewards after that.
But I wish it gives you 2 pinnacle swords, doesn't it? And then regular.
I'm not entirely sure. I can't remember now.
I think it gives you 2 pinnacle swords. I'll have to check on that. Don't quote me on that.
But what I'm saying is, if you played your heart's content in Gambit and you reset it for the pinnacle, and then you said, "Oh, for the rest of the week, I'm going to play strikes," then it should then automatically know that you've already got your pinnacle from Gambit to then go and play your strikes and do your Pathfinder on your strikes. And the same with Crucible. If you've already done X, Y, and Z somewhere else, then, do that. And it should auto adjust as well. So say you do your Gambit one, but you don't fully max it out to pick up the pinnacle, and you go and play Crucible and you max it out to get the pinnacle, then you go back to the Gambit one and it automatically knows that you've already done the Crucible one, so it gives you the reward for the second tier. I think it should be a little bit more intelligent like that.
I don't know if it has to be that intelligent. I just say
it does.
No, hear me out. Right? Just it doesn't need any intelligence about it. Just when you go to Gambit, there's the Gambit track. When you go to PvP, there's the PvP track, and when you go to everything else, there's that track, right? It's just, it doesn't even have to be intelligent. Just give us 3 separate tracks,
Okay.
I'd be happy with that.
Where's my Pathfinder Bash track?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, actually. Good point.
Yeah, if you're playing your Bonfire Bash, you're not doing your Pathfinder.
Correct.
You need a separate one, yeah. So their feedback and weekly bright dust that they want to tell us about. Since the launch of the final shape, they've been monitoring how Guardians are interacting with the new Pathfinder system in ritual playlists. They've seen some great feedback concerning Pathfinder in the Power Heart Destination, but they're still in the process of fine-tuning the system for Crucible, Gambit, and Vanguard playlists. They've made a few changes over Act 1 to help address players' feedback, such as ensuring there will always be a complete path purely for those for PvE gameplay. They've also addressed some overly specific objectives, an example being the requirement of Cabal kills in strikes, which was generalized to progress on any enemy faction. They still have things to touch on, but those are some examples that they've changed. Looking into the near future, discoverability and general progression are amongst the top priorities, and they want players to be able to find the Pathfinder more easily. The node is a little bit small, and they agree, and they want the objective to be better aligned with the activities they set for. Getting 10 grenade kills in PvP without dying is a bit too much of a challenge. Well, who wrote it then? Who put that in there and went, yeah, that's a good one. Let's put that one in there.
In PvP without dying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, no, the actual path says get 10 grenade kills without dying, and you can either do it in PvP, strikes, or Gambit. Strikes and Gambit, no problem. Well,
yeah,
maybe Gambit, no problem. No, strikes, no problem, but Gambit maybe if an invader comes in. But you know what I mean. But it is a general one, and yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No one's doing that in PvP.
No. Well, some people might be mad enough to be able to get away with it. Some changes will be a little bit quicker to ship, while others will take some time, so stay tuned for updates on their progress. As they continue to absorb and address players' feedback, they still want to make sure players were earning XP and Bright Dust at expected rates, and they had no intention of reducing either of these rewards when moving from Bounty to Pathfinder system. They've already started from... we've already started one form of making good through increasing the weekly well-rested XP, but they have another to start this week with Destiny 2 update 8.0.5 to address the Bright Dust. So, as of August 6th, this is this week that we're currently in, don't forget that you can collect 350 Bright Dust each week throughout the start of the maintenance up to episode 2 on October 8th. So, there you go, 350 each week up until October 8th. Each deposit is only there for 1 week, so be sure to pick up yours each week before the weekly reset.
Wow. Not one bow, 3 hand cannons, 3 arms, and 2 shotguns.
Did they not all go to your postmaster?
No, I had space for everything.
He's got space, apparently.
Yeah.
You must be the only person not getting bow drops.
It's because I want it. That's the curse, isn't it? What you want, you don't get in Bungie's eyes.
Yeah, but like Bungie has specifically weighted the bows to drop more often.
I'm not denying that. I am not denying that. I'm just saying I'm not seeing it.
Oh no, Peroty, I know what he hasn't done. Have you visited Zavala to attune?
I have to attune to the bow.
Yeah.
Are you messing with me?
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know you can attune for the other weapons, the
onslaught weapons,
brave
weapons.
Yeah. I did have that thought of like, was there something you were meant to do beforehand in order to have the bow be available to you? And it's like, no, they should just throw them, just piles of them down on top of you. I spent the week clearing out my postmaster because I have like 8 bows sitting in there. Going, I don't need any of these. I got the double Lloyd perk one, and now I'm very happy.
Oh, you did get that one? Yeah, that's a nice one.
Yeah, that was like one of the first drops I got. I'm like, okay, I'm done now. I don't even care about any of these other bows.
Oh man, all these reload perks on bows are awesome. I'm just saying, dude. Kill clip, freaking the arc one that jolts, bolt shot. Just things like that. And all these reload perks on these bows is kind of awesome. I don't think kill clip is going to make much of a difference because an extra 20 or 30% on a bow is not groundbreaking. But extra damage is extra damage. So
it gives you a whole clip of. Oh wait a minute. should a bow even have kill clip? Since there's no clip on the bow? I think that should actually do nothing for you. Kill quiver, on the other hand, now we're in business.
I see. No, I mean just every round, as long as every round.
No rounds, no damage.
I know. The bow is round in shape. Not a bow, an arrow. Damn it!
Oh, bless him. So, what have you like to tell me about the numbers that Bungie have raised for Bungie Day 2024?
Is it 777,777 cents?
No,
close.
$2,337,158.
Oh, that's way more.
Yeah, they raised all the good money and all the chaos. Not only did the community come together to spark a lot of good during the campaign, but they crowned their first ever 7th column Chaos Tournament champions. And they got the whole VOD if you want to watch it. But massive GG's to Team Passion, which is Defizzle, Pantho, and I don't know, it's AIIY. Unclear if I or ally or however you pronounce that person's name, they were also there. So yeah, congratulations to them, and yeah, raising over $2 million, $2.3 million for charity, always a good thing. And yeah, I mean, Bungie should lean into doing more of these tournaments and things because honestly, that's where the popularity of the game came from. Watching people play trials every weekend, that's. But outside the raid races, that's a fun way to get the community involved and watch things go on. So more contests, Bungie. If you do them, things that aren't just PvP, that'd be great too. But yeah.
Didn't they do a Gambit like a long time ago? Probably not. I might be tripping.
Yeah. Gambit was first introduced.
Yeah. When they first introduced it, they were like, "Hey, here's the thing," and then they said, "Shh, we'll never speak of that again." So yeah. So did y'all catch that hunter at the Greek games?
What?
It's time for our player support report.
Oh.
I enjoy reading out whatever random sentence they've put under player support report every week and having Respawn just go, what is he talking about? What in the world?
Please, Bungie, if you're listening, put something in there about our show. But Peroty continues to confuse Respawn. That would make my day.
DMG, we know you listen. We know you're out there.
It's not really news, though, is it?
No, but it would confuse you even more.
Yeah.
I live in a constant state of what the huh? Anyway.
Well, here's some other things. So a couple of known issues. So players who have already completed the unique missions in the episode Echoes story will not be able to launch them again with other players going through them for the first time. So if you've done it, we want you to engage your friends and help them play more, but not like this. So that's
no.
It's about they're going to fix it presumably. The Gray Clouds seasonal challenge incorrectly states the players can use a stasis subclass to progress. Players must defeat targets instead with Arc, Solar, or Void subclasses equipped in Gambit, which is fine because no one's
very different to stasis.
Yeah, Arc, Solar, or Void, or stasis. Very, very similar words. I could see how the confusion was made. The Ergo Sum's Wolfpack rounds are not applying to aggressive frame swords. So if you have a Wolfpack round Ergo Sum on an aggressive frame, no, you don't. The craftable versions of the class swords are unable to equip mementos. So, no pretty class swords for you.
Speaking of swords, after they said they fixed all these things, I checked yesterday. That sword that started this whole thing with me still hasn't been fixed. It's still at maximum, not level. When you feed it materials to get it to level 3, whatever the hell that is, right?
The enhancement.
Enhancement. Thank you. It's at max level 3 enhancement. It's level 37. And it still just shows the 2 perks with red outlines. It's still not fixed.
Because they didn't fix it yet.
Well, they said they made a lot of fixes to a lot of weapons that were having this issue. Apparently just not swords. So I'm steady spaghetti about that.
Well, maybe you might be upsetty spaghetti about players who have already completed the final shape are blocked from acquiring stasis during the Beyond Light campaign.
You said acquiring stasis?
I sure did. Acquiring stasis. My hunter, if he completes the final shape, would not be able to get stasis from Beyond Light at this point. Dying, I mean, it's a known issue, so they're going to fix it at some point, but currently, yes. Currently, yes, ever. Dying in lava during the liminality strike can sometimes block the ability to safely respawn. Because your ghost is melted. That's why. To keep your ghost out of the lava.
Is lava paracausal?
Yes.
Paracausal lava always is. The Micah 10 quest, The Veiled, cannot be completed unless players have completed the first mission in the Beyond Light campaign. This mission is available for all players to complete, but you would never, ever be able to figure that out on your own, and even now, good luck finding it. The No Hesitation auto rifle does not reliably break barrier champions' shields while radiant, so very unreliable. So those are the known issues they're going to tell you about. Respawn will tell you about some different known issues in the report roundup, because there's some other things that they didn't stick in there, because they didn't. And then we have artwork and movies, and our Destiny 2 team is back with us, giving us more twids, twabs, and updates.
Not finally. I don't know why I was going to say that. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But what I do know is that we now have to reset the Telesto clock. What's the Telesto clock, some people say? Well, Telesto in-game, for those of you that are not in the know, especially on New Lights, Telesto breaks the game in weird and interesting ways. Always has, always will. And now we have to once again reset the clock. The Telesto PvP damage values reverted to those from before PvP sandbox updates. So Telesto says, you nerfed me? No, you didn't. After that, we have Dado. Dado says, we gotta show people who log into my chat feed, quotes, option before a mute message notification sound option beyond me. But I'm begging you, Bungie, I need mute messages notifications sound. I don't care about the little icon for the chat messages there. Just mute the sound. Dado very upsetty spaghetti because apparently it interferes with something that he does in his life, even though the man's got more money than probably anybody we know. All right, cool. Thank you for that. Anyway.
So I'm sure it's just digging notifications all day, every day. Which was also my reminder.
That's why he hasn't responded to me.
Yeah, it's just another ding in his life, and he's going, "That's another ding. I can't be bothered.
Yeah,
can't be bothered."
I mean, it's Dado, so unless you're Jez or Travel Danielle, odds aren't looking good for you, Nitedemon.
But he could be because he's just another ding.
We have from Tony. Hi, Tony. Physics. Remember, you can access and acquire the Solstice bounties via Quest tab anytime, even within the Bonfire Bash activity itself. Oh, so once you get into the activity, you can still just get the quest.
Yeah, just another reminder. Go to the Solstice Forge. You don't have to go back to the tower every single time.
All right. Now we have DMG, who's back and already tweeting himself into a massive, massive storm. Says, big respect for going back and redoing the loot breakdown. Good games, Fallout, double perks, high stats, get your Solstice armor unlocked. So what happened, this is referring to Fallout just took somebody's opinion without doing the research himself, something I am very guilty of myself, so don't blame him. And then once he found out that the information wasn't entirely accurate, he actually went back, made the video to private, and redid the video with the actual correct information, because Fallout is a box. I really like Fallout. He's a good guy, good streamer, good everything. Good info. I like him.
That video Nitedemon will drop in the show notes. So if you're going, I'd like to see this information, it's there for you. Just below.
No, I think he's removed it now, but if it's there, I will put it back.
Well, no. I mean the one, the new one. Yeah. But this is DMD retweeting him with the new video link, which you have already dropped in the show notes because I know you.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know you.
That information, that information dead and gone.
After getting 0 from dozens of each bounty, gray, green, and gold, and not hearing a soul get one with Bonfire Bash, I'm assuming additional methods are either bugged or have an incredibly low drop rate from wherever you get them from. Any confirmation by chance? Bungie says, current issue with tracking, players are only able to hold one of these at a time. I haven't even gotten the one. Do you currently have one in your memento inventory, or have you applied memento and have yet to earn another? Well, I can tell you I don't have one, full stop. So none in my inventory, haven't applied it. Nada, bungo.
Yeah. So apparently, you can hold multiple mementos. That change was not made for the Solstice thing. So 1, it seems like they're not dropping very well, and 2, if you have one, spend it, because you cannot earn another one until you spend that one.
Possibly
if you have any memento in your inventory.
Oh, like at all? Wow, that's stupid. Maybe that's why I don't have one.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, as someone who only ever gets the Gambit ones, I don't ever have another kind to know if it's possible. So, that's I don't know. Nitedemon, I don't know if you've in the last event or whatever had like a Gambit memento or a Nightfall memento and something else. I don't know if it lets you have one memento period or one memento per memento type.
I thought it was one per type, but I could be wrong.
And Peroty just said what the next one says, so I'm just going to ignore that. Destiny 2 says, we know that recent changes at Bungie have created uncertainty surrounding the future of Destiny. Rest assured, we will remain committed to Destiny, to supporting our community with transparency, and to delivering regular updates about the game. We will be talking with you about the future of Destiny and plans for our next multi-year journey soon. Thank you for your patience. We will see you again soon. He likes to say soon. Soon again. But yeah, so there you go. Multi-year. Bungie's here forever. You cannot get rid of them. School is not out for summer, according to Bungie. And yeah, that's how it is. They're like, we made a game. We want you to play our game, and we will be here until you die. So there you go. Bungie has no plans to go anywhere anytime soon. And it looks like even with just Destiny 2, they plan on another multi-year journey, despite what we all know has been happening. So that's what they said. Whether or not it's true, only time will tell. So I do believe that is the last thing in the Resport round. No, there's not. Oh, goodness gracious.
You are very incorrect, sir.
Okay. Well, I scrolled earlier and it didn't move, so I was like, okay.
That was just the things before I looked at what Destiny 2 team had tweeted over the course of the week or put on Reddit.
All right. So, a quick question. Is it all right to send some player feedback your way, or is it better to funnel it over to the Destiny 2 team? This is from Steel Shadow, talking to at DMG. And Destiny 2 team just goes, hi.
Yeah. So, just a reminder, don't bug DMG with things. Use the Destiny 2 team account or the Bungie Help account. Don't send it to him directly. He does not care for your nonsense.
I mean, he might care for your nonsense, but it's not his responsibility. So he can't really do anything but pass what you say to them anyway. So there you go. All right. Myers 1224 at Destiny 2 team. Unsure if you've even seen this, but I noticed the spark-tempered Solstice bounties aren't progressing with combination blow on Prismatic. Yeah, that was a lot to say with one breath. We're looking into this. Thanks for the report. Okay, cool. So no punchy punch build if you're doing bounties for Prismatic. Awesome. Fallout, my dude. Appreciated. Wanted to make sure people knew what's up to farming, okay? Request. For those who are going to weapon farm via Bonfire Bash, rather than forge bounties, maybe we could adjust the drop rates before the event ends. Weapon drops are weighted towards the bow. It's a lot. I wish I was seeing this!
You are literally the only person. And there's probably somebody else out there too, but...
Look, for those of you that are on the stream, I got 2 bows this last thing. I got no bows the thing before that. I am not seeing this bow drop, right? It's crazy. Destiny 2 says, just sent off the feedback from here and a couple of Reddit threads. Yeah. So the last 3 bonfire bashes I've done, I've gotten 2 or 3 bows total. So it's I'm not seeing it, bro. You say it, I have yet to see it. Okay. Anyway. Rocks at Destiny 2 team. Can you guys fix tessellation? It would bug out if the grenade is consumed and you swap either a weapon or an aspect fragment out. Video as example of this happening. Making sure I understand the report here. You're unable to reload the weapon at all if you change anything in your loadout or subclass. Thanks, and future facing. Please make sure to report issues like these over to the help forums of Bungie Net. Cheers. Okay, so the tessellation is a fusion rifle that will eat your grenade to make its own version of that grenade, right? Well, it's actually, they classify it as a rocket, don't they? I think it's a rocket they classified it as.
Never fired it, wouldn't know.
I use it a lot. It's actually kind of fun. You should give it a go.
I can't, because if I change anything, I can't reload it.
Don't change your loadout, silly biscuit. But yeah. So that being the case, if you swap out anything in your loadout or anything in your subclass, what happens is when you swap to a different weapon, you can no longer reload because Bungie thinks that you're using the tessellation, and the tessellation has that one grenade loaded. And you can't load another grenade while that grenade's there, and you can't reload while that rocket is there, right? So the game thinks that everything is tessellation, and you just don't reload ever. So fun. Rock says, yep, anything I change would bug out if the grenade is consumed. If there's no grenade consumed, it will not bug out. There you go. We've identified an issue impacting exotic class item drop rates. At this time, tier 4 overthrow chests are not contributing to increased drop rates, nor can exotic class items be awarded through them. We're currently developing a fix, aiming for a near-term hot fix. We're also looking into giving players a way to chase specific perks in a future update. More details as plans solidify. All right, here we go.
And before you, dear listener or dear Respawn, get too angry, somewhere in here, I'm pretty sure is the, hey, we've pushed the fix of this, but I'm not positive about that.
See, I would be angry if I didn't already have 52 of them in my inventory.
Yeah, that's true. You would actually love if they took some of them away from you to make room for more things.
Yeah. I've got a lot.
I was like, why is he so bugged by this? Oh, right. He already has every conceivable role. He's good.
No, there's 64. I've only got like 52. There's a few empty checkboxes on the blue.engram website. Yeah. I really wanted to get all the roles. Shut up. I don't think okay. Compared to what Nitedemon does with his vault, come on.
Don't you pick on me? Don't you start throwing sense my way?
You both have problems. I just think it's funny that you're playing this Pokemon style. That's all.
It's also kind of scary how many of the exotic swords I have too.
Your vault is all going to be exotic class items and exotic swords. There will be no room.
Like if I got rid of those, I'd have probably like 100 free slots, like legit. But you never know where they're going to be useful. And like the perfect fit is still awesome. If you're, you know how you got to do the 3 dungeon clears to do one of the bounties. Well, you can go to Warlord's Ruin, kill the first boss, and you can one phase them. If one person has the version with the Wolfpack rounds and the other 2 people have perfect fit, boom, just.
Or you just pay 5 silver leaves to change it to generate orbs and then go do anything else. Yeah.
Oh, there's one where you can just generate. I didn't know that. I haven't even seen that one yet. I've just been doing the dungeon one when it pops up.
See, so every time you go into that list of bounties, you can pay 5 silver leaves.
I have reset it
all
a bunch
of those
of
bounties. Yeah. So if it keeps saying do a dungeon or raid or whatever, you can just pay it a couple times because one of them is just go create orbs of power with prismatic or another subclass.
Oh. I haven't even seen that bounty yet, but I get a lot of dungeons and raids. That's what I've seen. Dungeons and raids.
Yeah. You can swap those out because I've not done a single either of those. I've just been paying my couple of leaves because I've got loads of leaves from playing the game and going, I can just go play whatever I want.
So Bungie Help says we've resolved an issue where tier 4 overthrow chests weren't contributing to increased drop rates chances for exotic class items. Players are advised to return to orbit or restart Destiny 2 to receive this fix. Players are continuing to encounter issues with these drop. I'm sorry. Players continuing, not players that are continuing. Whatever. Doesn't matter. If you're having issues with this still, contact Bungie, okay? Shut up. Leave me alone.
Free. Yeah. And anecdotally, after this fix, because I can't remember which day the fix went live, but after the fix, I've gotten 2 of them to drop. Just from doing the overthrow activities, so it is working. They are dropping again.
That's good. Question mark. Bungie Help says
the game and get more things.
Bungie says we've identified an issue where cold snap grenades are not returning the correct amount of energy when used with osmiomancy gloves. We are currently investigating a fix. I wonder if it's too much or too little. We're aware of an issue where sniper rifle ammo reserves are lower than intended. We plan to address this in a future patch. Right, because I still only have 25 rounds to my golden gun sniper rifle. I need more. I need at least 40. Please address this. We've identified an issue where Graviton Lance is firing slower than intended. This will be addressed in a future update. So I guess when they programmed the Graviton Lance, because it was the only one of its type, they set the number to be that. And maybe the Graviton's damage is directly tied to that in a function somewhere. So that's kind of funny. What do we got? Plus 20% PvE glaive melee damage buff is not in effect, at least when it comes to ultras and bosses. While updating data to reflect the changes in the recent 805 over at Quantum Damage -ICS, I noticed that glaives did not receive an increase in melee damage to the Barrier Knights in Witch Queen's The Investigation mission. While I don't have data for other sources on glaive melee damage, if it didn't apply to these Barrier Knights, then either the buff went out for specific enemy tiers, or it didn't go out at all. My guess is the latter, since they depicted it as a buff in general, ambiguous to enemy combatant tier. Let me know if you can cross-reference this potential bug and confirm it. Destiny 2 says the team is aware, and we are looking to fix this in a future update. God, there is so much.
Yeah, Peroty, they were very active this
not
week.
Working again, huh?
They were. Well, they had. I mean, there was lots of stuff to say. It was lots of responses to, "Hey, here's a big patch. Hey, this is broken. This is broken. This is broken. This is broken."
Gotcha. How far am I? I'm almost at the end. Whew. Journey's almost over. All right. Destiny 2 team says, from our wonderful sandbox-focused folks, say that 3 times fast, we moved some things around behind the scenes to clean up old content and make what used to be one-off exotic weapon types that now have a designated subfamily easier to maintain. Blah, 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 blah. Unfortunately, during the cleanup process, we accidentally removed something needed to stay. An additional intrinsic ROF scaler, that's rate of fire, for those of you not in the know. Hence, the change to only Graviton Lance. The RPM on the inspection screen change was purely a visual fix and had no effect on the weapons themselves, except Graviton Lance.
Yeah, so I just thought that was sort of the why just this weapon and not the entire class? Well, because it used to be special, and now they made it less special. And it's like, no, I'm a special boy, and I'm going to break things.
He's still very special. I don't know anybody else in his family that can blow things up with a shot. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Actually, no. There is one. The incandescent ones can.
Use your words.
And it's got incandescent and can blow things up. Anyway, for a second year in a row, the Titan Solstice helmet ornament does not glow because Titans. Anyway,
you're gonna have to say whatever you just said again, because all we heard was glow and then Titans, and
no, he said other word he loves Titans. He said loves Titans.
He said because I love Titans, and then I laughed hysterically. Okay.
No, there was love for Titans in there.
We'll have to take your word for it because none of that came through.
Both the Refulgent Revelry. See, what? Hold on. Refulgent. Is this even a word? It's probably a word. People yelling at me.
Oh, it's 100% a word. Destiny is going to make you go to the dictionary and the thesaurus. Gosh, words are hard.
Yeah.
And going, I'm sure this is a word, but this is certainly not a word I've ever used.
Right. So it's an adjective for shining brightly or radiant or gleaming. Look at them pulling out the word of the day calendars.
So we could have the Refulgent dance machines and stuff.
God, no. So the Refulgent Revelry helm and the new Lambent Luster helm. No, I'm gonna look up Lambent.
Words with respawn. Do.
I mean,
you were in the classroom this week, so it is fitting that we're now having an English lesson.
Right? No, Lambent. That is correct. Okay, Lamb. Oh no, I spelled it wrong.
Respawn was serious about going back to school and getting real back to basics.
I took screenshots, but not screenshots. I took pictures. There you go.
That's what I'm saying. You're in a classroom, and now we're getting a lesson
of light or fire. Glowing, gleaming, or flickering with a soft radiance. Oh, I see. They just looked up. They pulled out of the thesaurus, looked up the word radiance, and just put all these words in.
What's a fancy word for shiny and glimmery?
Right. Okay. So the Lambent Luster helm paid ornaments do not have any of the elemental glows.
Perfect. Stunning. Absolutely no notes.
Okay. Both. I got a little lightheaded from that. Okay. Both glows show up when you inspect the armor in Eververse, but do not when you apply the ornaments. Here's proof in game. There's a link. Update. The glows show up if you place the ornament on regular helm from the respective years.
I think he's laughing.
Sometimes look, it's not often I get this joy from Titan suffering, but this is one of them. Okay. We have a few repeat issues that have cropped up this year. This is from the Destiny 2 team, by the way. The team is making sure to note them. Can't say if we'll get these fixed up before the end of the event, but we hope to. Long term, looking at a better way to track these issues to avoid repeat bugs. Thanks for the report. Where we at? Okay, right here. Click. Bungie, and this is r/Destiny the game. Bungie, I'm gonna need you to lower the drop rate of the bow by like half at least. No, I disagree. Could you increase it just a smidge? If I do another run with nothing but if I do another run with nothing but 4 gosh dang bows, I'm going to scream. We'll pass along the feedback. The loot eruption is a fun time, but totally understand the feels when getting a lot of the same drops. It's a new weapon in the bunch, so likely some desire to ensure players get their hands on it rather than older loot. But the perk refreshes give incentive to hunt for all. In short term, think of it as a little way to get some extra glimmer via dismantling. Why does everybody have this problem? Me! Sucks, man.
I was not anticipating how funny all of the please drop the bow drop rates would be until we got here. Respawn's like, what the?
I've got a couple. I just don't get many,
Everyone, please send Respawn pictures of your postmaster absolutely chock full of bows, because that's all you're getting.
Shut up, man. Destiny 2 team says hopped in Fire Team Finder to hit a GM for Solstice bounties. Sadly, babooned out the first. Hit the queue again, ended up finding the same host. Cool. Message, sorry if I air out again, I'll just go cry in a corner. Response was the Destiny way. Had a great time running through Saber. No comms, each of us reviving each other carefully. I ran ahead to the ball dunk in the shock room after watching a previous fire team die a few times. Wanted to show off, got it first try, even though I hit some Geo and was delayed. Felt so good. I definitely put my tryhard pants anytime I hit one of these to help out as much as possible. Finished up the boss room. 1 death, nothing crazy. GG's all around, and we went our separate ways into the night. Felt like a trio of cowboys coming together to break up a gang that had invaded a local town. Even the strike itself is a futuristic Warmind bunker. Still had some nice Western vibes going on in my head. DMG. Oh, this was from DMG? I didn't see it.
Yeah, I thought that was just cool. He shared it from the the D2 team account, but just like that I think is like the image in their head when they do Fire Team Finder. It's like, this is the experience we want to have. Like, this is the power fantasy we want to give you all. So I thought that was just a nice, nice that he shared that. And I'm just happy that he's back.
Another R Destiny the Game Reddit post. Solstice Farm equals Altars of Sorrows. Average 2 sets of armor bounties per completion of altars. Strategy is to do it with a friend and pop out of the fire team and get more bounties. Rejoin cycle that way. You're not leaving and joining new altars. Completion of Altars of Sorrows drops 1 leaf per encounter, and on average 25 silver leaves per the entire completion. I managed to make 2 sets of Solstice gear in less than an hour, doing only prismatic orb generation bounties. Farm away, Guardians. Well, there you go. Words, things, people, and what have yous. That is the last one, like for realsies.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Just a couple of things I wanted to talk about this week.
I've got something to talk about this week.
There's something to talk about every week.
This week. Is it more videos or is it something different?
Well, this is what's happening next week in Destiny.
Oh.
This is your weekly rundown of the final shape, week 11 starting on August 13th. This week sees Destiny 2 summer event Solstice enter its second week, where Guardians can conquer the EAZ Bonfire Bash to earn some really cool loot, including the new Void Lightweight Frame Bow, Fortunate Star, the Crowning Duolog Rocket Launcher, something new Hand Cannon, and Compass Rose Shotgun. Also available from Act 2 of episodes, we have the 3 new Battleground activities, Delve, Conduit, and Core, with Enigma Protocol and Breach executable in the helm from Act 1. In the Pale Heart, the exotic mission Dual Destiny is available for teams of 2 Guardians, where you can farm the mission to earn as many new prismatic exotic class items as you like. The Final Shape's cooperative focus campaign mission this week will be Descent. The 12 Guardian Matchmade Excision mission is also available next to the raid for a weekly pinnacle, with the Grandmaster version granting you the Ergo Sum Catalyst and an Ascendant Shard. The featured Onslaught map this week will be Vostok, with the Siege Hook Ogre kicking off the boss rotation. For our Legacy rotation, the Dreaming City this week is at a weak curse level, which means Petrovenge can be found in the Strand, and has the Broken Courier mission for the next week. The Blind Well features Taken enemies and the Plagues, Sicarus and Varicus. The Ascendant challenge will be the Agonon's Abyss over in the Bay of Drowned Wishes Lost sector. On the Moon, the weekly story mission is Beyond. The Trove Guardian is located in Archer's Line, while the Wandering Nightmare is the Nightmare of Jax, Claws of Zevra Wrath at the Hellmouth. Nightmare hunts Crota, Despair, Vogoth, Fear, and Ghoul, Rage. The Altars of Sorrow will start this week's rotation with the Nightmare of Tanix and the Apostate Sniper. On Europa this week, Coradis the Dark Priestess will be the Empire Hunt, Eventide Ruins will be the Eclipse Zone, and the Exo Challenge will be Survival. Days of Eternity Expert difficulty rounds are Kabul, Taken, and Crota. The Scatterhorn armor set and the Wild Hunt armor set will be available in Days of Eternity with Weapon Set 1, Arsenic Bite 4B, Blast Batu, Corsair's Wrath, Deafening Whisper, Dire Promise, Enigma's Draw, Escape Velocity, Giant 7 Rifle, Friction Fire, Royal Chase, True Prophecy, and Timeline's Vertex. The Witch Queen weekly story mission is The Cunning, Altar of Reflections Catalyst, and Altar of Reflections Pact. The Wellspring activity will start the week on Defense with the Father's Sin Void Sniper and Zyric Scorn Raider as the boss. The Lightfall weekly mission is Downfall, the Partition mission will be Backdoor, and the Vex incursion will be Zephyr Concourse. The Master Salvation Jed Raid Challenge this week is the second encounter, Dissipation, called At Capacity. The The Kurota's End raid challenge this week should be the 4th encounter, Kurota, son of Oryx, called All for One. The Root of Nightmares raid challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Cataclysm, called Illuminated Torment. The Kingsfall raid challenge this week is the 5th encounter, Oryx, called Hands Off. The Vow the Disciple challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, the Caretaker, called Base Information. The Vault of Glass challenge this week is the 1st encounter, Confluxes, called Wait For It. The Garden of Salvation challenge this week is the 2nd encounter, Spy Defense, called A Link to the Chain. And the Last Wish challenge this week is the 5th encounter, Riven, called Strength of Memory. Your pinnacle raid will be the Deepstone Crypt over on Europa, with all challenges available for each encounter, with the exotic rocket launcher Eyes of Tomorrow being farmable from the final boss. The pinnacle dungeon will be the Prophecy over in the Legends tab, and the exotic mission rotator will be Vox Obscura, with the Dead Messenger exotic grenade launcher being the main reward, the Season of the Risen's weapon set, plus the Tusk Allegiance armor set. The exotic missions The Whisper and Zero Hour will also be available in the Legends tab. This week's challenges are Mod Collector, Ritual Ornament, Kinetic Forces, and Gotta Win Them All. Lost Sectors Tuesday Thrillerdrome on Neptune, Wednesday Hydroponics Delta on Neptune, Thursday Vel's Labyrinth on the Cosmodrome, Friday Exodus Garden 2A on the Cosmodrome, Saturday The Broken Deep in the Pale Heart, Sunday The Blooming Deep in the Pale Heart, and Monday The Forgotten Deep in the Pale Heart. Our 11th featured Nightfall was successful against Cataxia, Tormentor of the Ahankara in the Liminality over in the Pale Heart, with the Undergoing Grenade Launcher being the featured adept weapon. The 6v6 Control playlist will be Control, Relic in the Party Relentless playlist, Showdown in the 3v3 playlist, Havoc Hardware and Crucible Labs, and Trials of Osiris at the weekend, with bonus Crucible ranks available all week long. And that's it for the 11th week of the final shape.
Well, asterisk as best as we can guess, because nobody really knows.
I was going to say, he sounded dejected when he said that, so...
Because well, two weeks in a row, they've been like, we told you it was this. It's not. There will be some Crucible. What Crucible exactly? Well, there's simply no way to be sure. But we can guarantee you there will be some of it.
Yeah. So most of the stuff is on a good rotation stuff. It's only the Crucible stuff they decide to kind of either change or don't bother changing it. So the majority of the stuff should be right. And the rotation for the bonuses I got correct last week because it should have been Gambit. So this week it's Gambit. Next week should be Crucible if it follows the pattern of the other kind of rotations, but it could end up being whatever they want to kind of be. So hey ho, but that's it. That's yeah. No, we've done all the videos this week, and we've told the people what's happening next week. Unless you guys have got anything to add, it might be just time to say thank you to the patrons and adios.
It's probably about that time. Yeah. While Trials comes up this weekend, you could go play it with your Fire Team 3, and that's all of those changes were part of those big long patch notes I read too. So if you want to just go hang out on a Fire Team of 3, you'll get some things, and maybe you won't have such a bad time because no one's playing Trials anymore. But yeah, but I think the time is now to say thank you for joining us, our lovely, wonderful patrons like Zep Orbiting K4, who cannot be threatened with a good time. The T-Rex King, Scarlet KM, Mel O'Malley, Dedicated Wham, and Renard Calant are an impeccable Otter Dance troupe. Our Grenade Throwers, Golden God 1562, Noble, basically Salt, Fire Squad 1688, and Coderson 105, and Deacon's Day 1 Raid Team of Dimwee, Gravy Jeff, and PP Pipe. We appreciate each and every one of you and will continue to bombard you with Destiny 2 news until it ends, or until we end, until something ends.
Yeah.
And thank you for joining us. Your Titans are Peroty and Nitedemon. Your Hunters don't want to respond to real life. We are on YouTube. We are on your podcast feeds. You know where to find us. Just type 2 Titans and a Hunter or Destiny 2 into a search box. You'll find us. That's the magic of the internet. You can email the show 2titansandaHunter@hotmail.com. Find the show wherever you get your podcasts. Follow us on YouTube for each new episode, weekly update video, and all the live streams. 2titansandaHunter.com is where you can find all your show notes and links and feeds in the show. So if you're going, how do I find you? I somehow couldn't find you in my podcast player of choice. 2titansandaHunter.com. If you want to join the Otter Dance Troupe, threaten us with a good time, or throw more grenades, join our Patreon, patreon.com/TTH. Looking for a more casual encounter, coffee.com/2titansandaHunter. And if you want to go watch some Twitch over in Twitchland, twitch.tv/no-one-responds-in-real-life for a very live, very stuttery, uncut reading of the show and whatever else Respawn gets up to in the week. Or twitch.tv/2titansandaHunter for all the live streams when there's live streams from a more family-friendly British perspective. And until next week, say goodbye to the nice people.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra, ta-ra, ta-ra.
Two Titans and a Hunter, a Destiny 2 podcast.
Ambiguous to enemy combatant tier. What is that clicking?
Oh, is it me playing a game?
Is that what
playing
that
the
is?
game? It might be me playing the game. This is
I
the
just
change, isn't it?
I just heard a
Respawn.
clunk.
So okay, so this is what it sounds like when you're playing, except it's clicky, except it's mouse clicks. So just know that this is normally what we're experiencing.
Like still to this day.
Yep. No, every week I have to edit as much of the clicking out as I.
Oh, I
love
thought my
the fact
filter fixed
that
that.
you got upset with us clicking, and we have to put up with that every week.
I didn't know that was y'all clicking. One, number two, I didn't know y'all still heard my clicking. I thought when I applied the filter, it wouldn't record something over a certain or under a certain line. I see the line. The line is there, but you said you can still hear it.
Yep.
The line says, "I'm a line, but I don't do any good." It's very good at limiting you on the high end though, because you get going and it just absolutely limits your audio, where just nothing comes through on our end at all. So that definitely works.